Good morning, everybody. And thanks for being here. Sorry we were running late. The plenaries went over 15 minutes, and then I believe the TQs were a little long. But it's great. We'll start our breakout sessions here. So the first session that we have, the rise of expert journalist. It's a very provocative kind of session and an oxymoron, an expert journalist. Why journalists are doing better than specialists. And we all know, as leading dynamic and fast-paced world that we live in today, we have to connect the dots across multiple avenues and different expert areas in knowledge. And how does one kind of increase his breadth of knowledge and complement it simultaneously to increase the depth of expertise? So typically, expert journalists are able to do this faster. So is the belief of Rohit Kapoor. So the session is led by Rohit Kapoor, who is the Chief Executive Officer of New Real Estate Business at OYO. He is right now driving, he has the responsibility to drive the new real estate business opportunities for OYO. And before that, he was the Executive Director and a member of board at Max Healthcare. And he has the distinction of being the youngest non-promoter Executive Director and board member at any Max Group companies. Welcome, Rohit. All yours.
Good afternoon. I'm Kolkata chele. Shobai Bangla bujhte paren? Okay, I'm trilingual, so I'm a journalist. So I think I represent this topic the best, and this topic is very close to my heart. So when I was in Calcutta, I grew up in South Calcutta. I shop kichu khelta hu, cricket, badminton, football. Used to play everything. Right? I had friends who were from all sections of society. So I never specialized in anything actually. Right? Then I started my job. My first job was pharma sales. So I was selling in what is now Shonarpur, Barwipur. ওখানে এখন অনেক বাড়ি বাড়ি হয়ে গেছে, তখন কিছু ছিল না, লাঞ্চ করতে একটু অসুবিধা হতো, 96 and I'm also a journalist because I lived in Calcutta, right? I am Punjabi, out of UP, and I'm a vegetarian, right? Hard to find such a combination, right? So especially in Calcutta, lived first 25 years of my life in Calcutta. So first job was pharma sales, and pharma sales is very good to do because you get humiliated every day, right? You go to office, you go to hospital, they say, "Aap 2 ghanta baithiye," then nurse will come and tell you, you have to patao the nurse, the compounder, everyone, before you get to meet, and then the person will tell you ki only 2 minutes, right? And then they look the other direction, right? So I was a young boy, 21 years of age, 3rd year of college, shifted to evening college because I wanted to work, right? So ये तो अच्छा है वैसे, बहुत सीखा वहाँ पे. Then started those days there was a ITC Classic company, finance company. अब नहीं है. Peerless is obviously very well known in Calcutta. So we had this pyramid scheme. So we launched a company to sell fixed deposits in rural India, rural Bengal actually. So South 24 Parganas, North 24 Parganas. So we built up almost a 10,000 member agent force. So did that for 2-3 years. RBI টা বন্ধ করে দিল 98-এ, রাইট? তো এখন কিছুই করিনি, এটাই ছিল আমার কাছে। মিডল ক্লাস ফ্যামিলি, বাবা মা বহুত জুতো মারলো, রাইট? কি कुछ तो करो, right? So graduation somehow I completed, did my CFA. Then I worked in a job with a steel company. बोले export का काम है. I didn't realize that export means कि going to Doha and standing on a port, right? So 6 months did that. It was very hot in Doha. It's 52 degrees. I promise you, you stand in 52 degrees in a port, right? Any other job looks better to you. Any other job, God promise, right? So did that, then realized that this is not export. This is like port manager job. This is a job nobody wanted, right? And I got conned into that, right? Then joined the Usha group here, which was I think had merged the Javas had merged into Beltron, and I used to handle. In fact, I had just finished my CFA. Worked with the Treasury division, International Treasury, for 2.5 years. It was in the Sahara building, the office. I don't know if it's still there or not. So that was my Calcutta journey in my professional days, right? For first 5-6 years. Joined McKinsey after that. It was a McKinsey is one of the first few employees in India in the vertical that I joined. Then spent 10 years with them. Spent almost in sectors which were insurance, banking, real estate, education, consumer goods. I also advised the Australian Cricket Board once, right, on their strategy to tap into Indian market. Right? So it is as wide a variety as you could get in terms of exposure. I worked in Canada, UK, Singapore, Jakarta, Hong Kong, Bangkok, Delhi, Bombay, Chennai, you name it, right? I only had a home address which was notional in nature, right? So I used to do Monday, Friday for 10 years. I still have the same wife, and I'm thankful for it, right? I think she's just a nice person to have tolerated all this for so long, right? Then went to Max, joined Max as head of strategy for the group. In there, looked at health insurance, life insurance, healthcare. Then Anilji took me to South Africa to say कि यहाँ पे luxury wine और resorts का business चालू करेंगे. So that was great fun. Worked with him to set up the business there. We bought vineyards. I was so excited by the prospect of buying wine companies that, and I was recruiting a sommelier, right? So, you know, wine is one thing, everybody fakes it. Nobody understands what is a good wine. But you go to any social party circuit, people will hold a wine glass and say, nice wine. They don't know jack. Right? कुछ नहीं समझ में आता है, मेरे को भी नहीं आता था. पर वो रेड और वाइट समझ में आता था बस कि ये वाइट है, ये रेड है. उसके बाद यू नो जैसे कि डू यू स्मेल पीच, मैं तो कुछ स्मेल नहीं आता था उसमें से, राइट. बट एनीवे, नोबडी टोल्ड मी दैट व्हेन यू डू वाइन टेस्टिंग यू शुड नॉट ड्रिंक फुल ग्लासेस बिकॉज डूइंग द एंटायर डे. सो आई हैड अ 5 PM meeting with Analji and I was totally wasted, not because I wanted to drink, because I was visiting 10 vineyards. So did that, set that up. Got into Max Bupa, lost its CEO, went and ran that company for a year. Then Max Healthcare lost its CEO, was drafted in there as number 2 to the CEO who had come in from Max Life, build Max Life, and now I'm at OA Rooms building a completely new business. Right? That's been my 20 years of life. And there are two ways to look at it. Right? One way to look at it is that I have no idea what I want to do in life. Right? Which is, I think, is a good situation to have. Right? I don't mind that positioning at all, because most people who say that they're definitive about their life don't end up doing it, right? So I'm okay. I don't look at life 5 years, 10 years ahead. I look at tomorrow, today, and I definitely want to make the best use of today, and maybe tomorrow. Right? परसों किसने देखा है? Right? Now, in terms of the other way to describe a generalist is, and my kind of career is, you gather no boss. Like a rolling stone gathers no moss, a generalist gathers no boss. But I think while this may sound like a a completely haphazard way of looking at a career in life, I did spend 10 years in one organization and 7 years in another one, and I truly believe that OYO is a platform where I'll spend many years building new things. So why is a generalist good? Not always. You don't want a doctor to be a generalist. You don't want your heart surgeon to be a generalist. You don't want your litigation lawyer to be a generalist, right? Like you may trust me, but if I want to do your kidney surgery, you may not really want that to happen, right? So there are professions where specialization or technical nature are most important, and you only become better in your job by being just doing that. But look at, minus that, the world around us, what's happening? Is Ola a food company, a taxi company? What does Flipkart really do? Is it into fashion? Is it into mobile payments? Is it into e-commerce? And so on and so forth. And this is maybe new age. But remember, the Tatas were not journalists. The Birlas in the 50s were not journalists. There was a license Raj which forced people not to be journalists at some point in time. Right? So we are pretty much a nation of journalists. Our largest employers has been general trade. Right? That local kirana shop I grew up in Southern Market near Rajbihari, who used to also sell papers and bread and milk, and in the evening will also deliver something else to your home. Right? So we are a nation of generalists because generalists are smart opportunists. They create opportunities where others don't seem to think it exists. Let me take an analogy from the animal kingdom. কোনোদিন কলকাতার রাস্তাটা পোলার বিয়ার দেখেছেন? দেখেছেন? দেখেননি তো? দিল্লিতে তো কোনো চান্সই নেই, আর দোহা তো ডেফিনেটলি নট, রাইট? কুকুর সব জায়গায় থাকে। ককরোচ, they are ultimate generalist. You'll find a dog in Alaska, and a dog in Chennai, and a dog in Delhi heat. Different varieties of dog, they have adapted. A polar bear cannot survive here, but a dog can survive. I think some types of dog can survive in Antarctica. Right? Maybe they do. The sledge, reindeer type location may have you seen movies and theaters. You look at anybody who's sort of build a large business, right? Steve Jobs was a generalist actually. He was a techie by instinct, but he was a designer. His primary talent was a designer, calligraphist, right? You take anybody who's made substantial progress of any nature, and they have been able to appreciate multiple facets of building of life, of their own lives, of society, and their businesses. A specialist gets stuck at that, right? You look at David Ogilvy, arguably one of the finest, ad makers, or created one of the finest organizations in advertisement. You know what? David Ogilvy always had the talent to be the best ad person who ever existed. But he chose not to do that. He chose to build an organization that will last. And when he used to get an account, he will not sit in a room and think of catch lines. He used to go and understand production. He used to go and understand how the sales force works. He used to go and understand who are the consumers in the field. He used to understand competition. And that enabled him to create an organization which will last way beyond his own capabilities. If you're a CEO of an organization, can I really say today that I don't understand project management? I can't. I may not be the best at it. I will hire somebody who's better than me for sure in that job, but I have to understand what he or she is saying. I cannot say that I don't understand HR, or finance, or legal. My typical day is sitting with a lawyer, fixing something in the morning, then next with the finance person, going and meeting a client on something, coming back, meeting the designer. My typical day is there's no typical day. Right? So, and even the world has changed. I think the beautiful part is that আমাদের যখন বড় হচ্ছিলাম, তখন যখন ক্লাস 10-এ ছিলাম, সবাই বাংলা বোঝে? আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে, কলকাতা। তো সবাই বলতো দুটো চয়েস। আমার একটা স্টোরি বলছি, আমার র্যাঙ্ক ছিল 51 মাধ্যমিকে, ঠিক আছে? তা মোটামুটি খারাপ করিনি, ভালোই করেছিলাম। মাধ্যমিকের পরে আমি বললাম আমি কমার্স করবো। অ্যান্ড আমার বাবা ওয়াজ ভেরি কুল অলওয়েজ, কিন্তু ইন দোজ ডেজ অলসো হি সেড ইউ ডু হোয়াট ইউ ওয়ান্ট টু ডু, হোয়াট এভার কামস টু ইউর ওয়ে। Everybody wanted to be either doctor or engineer those days, right? Ultimate specialization, right? All the engineers are no longer specialized because you can do textile, you do software, you do comp science, you do software. You do construction, you do software. So might as well not be an engineer, right? So anyway, the story is I went to Goenka College, right, for admission, and I had 83.44%. Today it looks terrible. That time, trust me, it was a good marks, right? Those who are from my generation will appreciate that nobody used to get 99% in Madhyamik, right? The West Bengal topper used to get some 88.2%, right? आजकल हमारे बच्चा इज इन क्लास 9, ही बोला अच्छा आपका 83 आया था, वो माँ आपको मार नहीं पड़ी घर में? मैं बोला बेटा ये 51 रैंक का सर्टिफिकेट है। बोला ये तो आपने छपाया होगा बाद में कहीं पे। एनीवे, सो आई वेंट टू गोयनका कॉलेज टू टेक एडमिशन, एंड ही सेड यू वांट टू टेक एडमिशन इन कॉमार्स, বাবাকে নিয়ে এসো কালকে। বলো বাবাকে কেন আনবো, আমাকে দিন অ্যাডমিশন। আবার বলো নেক্সট অ্যাপ্লিকেন্ট ইজ এট 68%, 14% গ্যাপ আছে, তুমি কি পাগল? তো আমি বললাম না, আই ওয়ান্ট টু ডু কমার্স, রাইট? সো হি অ্যাকচুয়ালি সেন্ড মি ব্যাক, হি ডিডন্ট গিভ মি দ্য ফর্ম দ্যাট ডে, বিকজ এভরিবডি ইজ আ পেরেন্ট ইন ক্যালকাটা। দ্য গুড পার্ট ইজ দ্যাট এভরিবডি কেয়ার্স অ্যাবাউট ইউ অ্যান্ড ইউর ওয়েলবিং, রাইট? অ্যান্ড দেন হি টোল্ড আদার্স, ছেলেটা এসছে এরকম মাথা খারাপ হয়ে গেছে, বাবা আমাকে নিয়ে আসেনি, কমার্স আমি জানি না চিজ করে এসছে কিনা, চিজ করে এসছে, কালকে বাবা আমাকে বকবে, রাইট? সো এনিওয়ে আই কেম ব্যাক নেক্সট ডে উইথ মাই ড্যাড, অ্যান্ড ড্যাড রিইনফোর্স कि नहीं इसको दे दो फॉर्म, बात कर चुका है मेरे से. I think our kids today will be the ultimate generalists, right? Because today, thank God, we can really let them pursue their passion, right? And they could be great designers, they could be great painters, musicians, artists, and yet run a company at some point, right? Today is not unfathomable to somebody to see that you were a designer and hence you will make a great CEO someday. In fact, I believe the chances are higher. And I think I just want to spend the last 3-4 minutes I have in translating this for the SME world. I think India is truly about SMEs. And SME is, to me, not something which means small. It means something which is very, very large in terms of opportunity. And I will encourage especially people from Calcutta who are running companies to set up one outpost outside Calcutta also. Delhi, Bombay, anywhere. Build a business here, but also go out, expand the market. Right? Not because there's no opportunity here, but because there's so much you'll get back from those experiences also, that you'll be able to create much larger opportunities here. Please do step out. Take Calcutta out of Bengal also. We need the visibility, we need the, I think there's some fantastic work which has happened in the last few years in building Calcutta's image as a destination, as also as talent was always there, that we are never short of, right? Talent, ideas and inputs, always there. Now is the time to be entrepreneurial, venture into different areas. If you are for example, a distributor for one company, your core strength is not that segment. Your core strength is distribution, right? If you're a, let's say, leather manufacturer, the core strength is not leather manufacturing maybe. It is about the possibility of what leather can do in every sphere, right? And I know beautiful businesses which can be built if you start there. And one tip is, if you're trying to scale up your business and you feel you are not a good generalist, and everybody need not be, please hire a good leader or a manager who is, or give them equity, right? They will be able to multiply the possibilities of your business so many times that will never happen with only taking a specialist view to life. And also remember that the specialists run the biggest risk of disruption. Kodak was a specialist film photography company. They never saw them as anything else. The end was overnight practically, right? So any company which starts to specialize too narrowly, even if it is large, is the easiest to disrupt because they don't know anything else. And there are many, many such examples. Nokia, right? Kodak, these are iconic companies. These are not small companies. These are brands we grew up with. Blockbuster Video, right? Netflix actually was a smart company. It moved from DVDs rentals to streaming very quickly. And I think they are moving to becoming a content company very quickly because they realize streaming is no longer an advantage. Anybody can stream. A 13-year-old boy can stream anything they want sitting at home. So now the streaming capability is just hygiene. It is a content which will drive everything, and they have become a content company. They are today very much like a Disney or a 21st Century Fox or anybody else. It's just that they distribute through a different platform which is far more powerful, right? So if you are a specialist, do yourself a favor, travel the world. What is getting disrupted globally will get disrupted in India. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Okay. Anybody who tells you otherwise has not seen enough of the world. Because people will, and your disruption will not come from people you think is competition. It will come from that 18-year-old kid who's thinking a business idea somewhere out of Bangalore or Calcutta or Delhi. Right? So I think specialists have a great role to play in technical roles, in specialized roles. As I said, doctors, lawyers, they better be specialists and better be good at their jobs. But even there, today a doctor has to communicate well. So that's a generalist skill. That's a general skill. আমাদের একটা রিসার্চ করেছিলাম আমরা, আমি ম্যাক্স হেলথকেয়ারে 4 বছর ছিলাম, about perception of doctors. The correlation to their skill was very low. See, when a surgeon is performing on you, by definition you don't notice because you are under anesthesia. And if you're not, you'll be in a lot of pain. So the only pre and post experience is what you experience. Pre आप देखते हो कि ठीक से समझाया कि नहीं, कि क्या हो रहा है. पोस्ट आप देखते हो कि कितनी देर बाद आया सर्जरी के बाद आदमी मिलने के लिए. Right? The rest is a black box, both for the patient and the family, because family member is not standing by the side, except father in case of a birth, maybe, which is modern times allowed, and was allowed also previously. But so think about it. I think being a generalist is not about not being good. It is actually about being good at many things. And I do believe that it's a great topic. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on this. I'm very happy to be back in my hometown. I take every opportunity to sneak back into Calcutta wherever I can. And this remains home for me. I left 18 years back. I have a house in Kona side. I have many friends. I don't put my visit on Facebook because I'll end up disappointing somebody for sure of not meeting them when I'm in Kolkata. But this is where the heart is. This is where my home is. I'm in Kolkata chile. I'm khub. The moment I come out of airport, I feel home like I've never felt in any other city. I've lived in almost 30 cities in the world. And it's a very special place. Please build, please be aggressive, please take Calcutta out to the glory. What Bengal used to think, the world used to think later, right? Time has come again, I think. Thank you.
So thank you, Rohit. That was a thought-provoking session. Being an engineer, I always thought, specialization is it. It dawned about 15, 20 years late after working into it. He's figured it out much earlier. And of course, I can't resist coming from Punjab on the comment on wine. We are true journalists. We will drink anything. As long as it is in a bottle. May I request Tanaz Buriawala from the IDA, the Irish Development Authority, to hand over a small memento from NASSCOM. So we didn't have time for Q&A, but he's available to chat after the session. You can catch him. He's from Calcutta. So he loves it here. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.